Hello and welcome to Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Dr. Joel Wallach, your host, a veterinarian and physician. And I'm here for kids and baby boomers and seniors who don't want to die at 75.5 like their parents and grandparents. I'm here for kids and baby boomers and seniors who don't want to be sick and miserable for the last 15 to 20 years of their life like their parents and grandparents. I am a conservative, and a lot of people say I treat them like dogs, but they do seem to get better. Now, if you have a personal health challenge you want to ask about, if you have a health challenge of a friend, a loved one, a workmate, or if you want to talk about a medical politics or the home-based business opportunity, give us a call toll-free, 1-888-379-2552. Again, that's toll-free, 1-888-379-2552. Well, today I want to talk about my new book just came out today, available today, and that is Epigenetics. The book is Epigenetics, and it actually goes into the history of medicine, going way, way back to the days when everything was caused by evil spirits, and then, of course, there were the little gods sitting up on the planets making decisions on your life based on how many goats you burnt to them. And then there was the theory by the doctors that everything was caused by spontaneous generation of stuff. Things just happened. And then Pasteur came along with the germ theory, and the germ theory... doctors resisted it for a long time. They thought disease was caused by a chemical fermentation, not something caused by living organisms. And finally, when they finally did accept that there were living organisms, they believed that everything was caused by germs, including insanity and cancer and so forth. Well, then came genetics, and of course, everything was caused by genetics. Every disease was caused by genes, and when you have everything caused by genes, along in 1953 comes Watson and Crick. And they, of course, described the actual double helix structure of the DNA, and were really the guys who really got the idea that genetics caused everything on the map. In 2001, the human genome was published, and in March of 2013, exactly 60 years later after the 1953 release of the structure of double helix of DNA, Watson was asked by the Salk Institute to give a report on genetics and say, look, what diseases, it's been 60 years since you've had the structure of DNA, what is the actual diseases? Give us the top 5 diseases that are going to be cured in the next few months or few weeks or few years. And Watson got up in front of this illustrious audience of geneticists, heads of departments of genetics at universities, Nobel Prize winners, and said, you can sequence 150,000 people a day. Sequence their genes. You're not going to cure cancer or diabetes or any other disease because all the experiments we have done have been irrelevant, is the word he used. All the experiments we've done have been irrelevant. It's not genetics. It's all chemistry, a.k.a. biochemistry, a.k.a. nutrition. And, of course, he flabbergasted the world in March of 2013 when he said that. Of course, everybody just said, well, he's a doddering old man. How can you believe that? Well, I said that in 1977 when I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, tracked it back to a deficiency of a single mineral called selenium rather than being a genetically transmitted disease. Well, this book, Epigenetics, the book Epigenetics actually gives the history of all this and then goes through all the various diseases and what nutrients are deficient to cause these diseases that are thought to be genetically transmitted, like cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, Huntington's disease, heart disease, cancer, autoimmune diseases, so forth. These are all caused by nutritional deficiencies, and somebody will say, well, we have 5 generations of diabetics in our family. How can you say it's not genetic? Well, that's because they have a gluten intolerance, and gluten intolerance actually reduces the efficiency of absorption of nutrients, even if you're supplementing. I mean, everybody knows, I guess modern generations don't know that, but when I grew up, everybody knew that there were places in the United States that didn't have a lot of iodine in the soil, and so there was a lot of goiter in those areas, and the people who specialize in endocrinology all flocked to these places where there's no iodine in the soil because they had lots of patients built in because of lack of iodine in the soil. They all were dealing with all these people with thyroid problems. Well, there's patients in waiting now, patients who were told by genetic screening tests 30, 40, 50 years ago that they had some terrible genetic disease, and they're still waiting 30, 40, 50 years later. The disease never developed because just by accident they supplemented or whatever. And so this book, Epigenetics, covers all this stuff, all these diseases that are said to be genetic, and it shows very clearly. And it shows why Jerry Lewis got fired by the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation for bringing them the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. I get fired by Emory University and Yerkes Primate Center for bringing forth the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, and the war is on. Of course, we have lots of great new products that support health of your genes so they can function properly. Genes get genetic manifestations of disease not because it's genetically transmitted, but because they have nutritional deficiencies. If you're deficient in nutrients, these genes don't work right. All this is laid out in great detail, all the science behind it. And, of course, we have a new product with Youngevity that is related to all this to establish a longer lifespan by extending the life of the telomeres, which are the end caps on your chromosomes. And this was given for the reason why we have a finite lifespan. The average lifespan is 70. Well, we should be able to live well beyond 150. We have the capacity to do that. Well, that's because your telomeres die after 51 duplications. Well, what if we can make them survive 100 duplications or 150 duplications or 200 duplications? We can certainly extend our life. And this is the basis of Youngevity's new product called Immortalium. All the science that deals with the health and life extension of telomeres is in this book, Epigenetics, and it's in the product Immortalium. Contact your Youngevity associate and say, hey, I need the 90 essential nutrients. I need Immortalium, and I need the book Epigenetics because I want to know how to add 25 to 50 healthy years to my family's life. Do not be left behind. You need this information. The medical system has been hiding it. They have been keeping it under wraps for at least 36 years that I know of, where they fired me, because they don't want you to know about epigenetics. It's not genetics, it's epigenetics. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I got a CNN story here headlined, Study, Eat 7 servings of fruit and veggies daily. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So it turns out eating the apple isn't enough. According to a new study, people who eat at least 7 servings of fruit and vegetables a day cut the risk of death by 42%. Vegetables seem to be more important than the fruit, something that you talk about a lot. Mm-hmm. And this was actually published online in the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health. And this study was done by scientists in the UK. And they looked at data for more than 65,000 adults over the age of 35 who participated in a healthy surveys for England between 01 and 08. And these surveyors had asked participants about their fruit and vegetable consumption during a 24-hour time period. Portion sizes were defined by the UK's Department of Health at about 80 grams, or the equivalent to just under 3 ounces. And they compared this nutrition information to mortality data for the group over the next 8 years. The results, they found the participants who ate an average of 3.8 servings of fruit and vegetables daily. Older, non-smoking women tended to eat more than the other demographic groups, and they say the produce consumption was also linked to a participant's body mass index. Those who ate more fruits and veggies tended to have lower BMIs. Researchers found that the diet rich in fruit and vegetables can be protective against cancer, heart disease, and all other causes of death. Eating at least 7 servings was best, but each serving increase was associated with a lower risk of death. They found that people who ate at least 7 daily servings of fruit and vegetables had a 42% lower risk of death from all causes than those who ate less than 1 serving daily. And they said the veggie lovers had a 25% lower risk of dying from cancer, 31% lower risk of dying from heart disease or stroke, and the vegetables seem to be the greater health benefit than the fruit. And they say that 3 or 4 servings of fruit daily didn't increase the participants' chance of survival. And the takeaway, they say, is eat more vegetables. Even if you're, like many of the study participants, you believe you're eating an overall healthy diet, you need to aim higher. And this research was presented at the American College of Cardiology. And they say those who ate fruits and vegetables in their 20s were 40% less likely to have plaque in their arteries by the time they reached their 40s, and I think that deserves Because that's something you've been talking about for years, is stay away from the bad foods and eat the right things and supplement nutritionally, and you're going to have a better health outcome.
Exactly. Well, that's why, everybody knows about V8, right? The canned drink.
You have to hit yourself on the forehead.
Exactly. Well, our Beyond Tangerine is V115. More vegetables, more fruit, more berries. V115, fruits and vegetables and berries. It is the greatest antioxidant whole food product on the market. We're so proud of that. And we have so many testimonies, so many great health problems reversed, so many health problems dealt with better, managed better, just by simply taking Beyond Tangerine, the V115 product. And how many people were in that study, Doug?
I think it was 65,000.
65,000. Well, that's significant. Thank you once again. You're on top of it. An A+ for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Ohio. And Jim, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Jim. You're on the air.
Hey, Doc. How you doing?
Okay, sir. How can we help you?
Well, first, I just want to tell you, I just ordered a copy of your new book. I can't wait to get it.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, after you read it, call us up and give us a review.
I'll do that. I've got a 13-year-old mixed breed dog. She started out at about 25 pounds, and she's been losing weight. She's down to about 20 right now, and she was not eating properly like she was used to anyway. And we ended up taking her into the vet, and they did some blood work on her, and they believe that she's got kidney failure. I've got the blood work in front of me, and if you have any specific questions,
do you know what the dog's creatinine level is? When you have kidney failure, the creatinine level will go up above 1. Usually, the normal is 0.9 or 0.82, that kind of stuff. Creatinine.
Yeah, basically, we did the first draw about 2 weeks ago, and it was 8.5. We did it again a week ago, and it went down to 8.1.
Okay, well, 8 is
was
still
152.
Yeah,
and it went down to 97.
Yeah, 8 is way too high. All right, and so when you have kidney failure, we have some great stories in both dogs and people for kidney failure. There's nothing wrong with the kidney. 99% of the time, there's nothing wrong with the kidney. You actually have a problem with the circulation into the kidney. Okay, that these afferent arteries that are 10,000 times smaller than the diameter of your hair or the dog's hair that would normally carry the dirty blood into the filtering units called glomeruli get plugged, and because the dirty blood can't get into the filtering units, the capacity of the kidney to filter blood drops because you can't get the blood to do it. So I'm going to turn this over to Shar here because she knows what to do for kidney failure when people are on dialysis, when dogs have kidney failure.
Ultimate Daily will open up all those plugged up arteries. It's a router vitamin, I call it. 2 tablets a day, and there's 180 in the bottle, so 2 tablets a day would last you 3 months. Yep, for the dog, right? So that's the cure.
Yeah, isn't it funny how you can cure animals and it won't let us cure people?
Doc, I've been giving her 1 a day when I can get it down. Or the big problem is she won't take it as is. I've been crushing it up and putting it in yogurt or applesauce.
Okay. Well, basically, what you would do to a dog is you hold her, on your lap, put your arm around her, your left arm around her, open up her mouth, drop the 2 tablets down her throat, rub her throat, and she'll swallow them. It's amazing how reflexes work. Thank you, Jim. Let me know what your review on the book is, and let us know as the creatinine drops, because it will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Washington State. And Paul, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Paul, you're on the air.
Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
We have a daughter who's, since birth, she's 15 months old. Since birth, her right eye has been swollen and partially closed. And we've done various things, gone to naturopath, gone to chiropractor and various people, and we've heard different things such as being diagnosed with ptosis or myasthenia gravis. So we're interested in finding out if there's something else we can do to help her.
Sure. Okay, so have you been to an eye doctor? Something as simple as an eye doctor?
Not yet. What it was we were told by various people to give it a little time and to see if it took care of itself. But yeah, that would be okay. On the list here now.
Sure. Well, let's back up a little bit. So the baby's 15 months old.
That's correct.
Okay. And is there any other problems? Is it just a happy, giggly baby and just his right eye is swollen?
She's in. I would say she's in perfect health. There's no other. We have no other issues. Everything about her is.
Okay. No skin problems. No diarrhea. No constipation. No asthma.
No.
Okay. Good.
None of that.
Okay. Good. Now, there's several things that can cause eyes to be swollen in babies. Sometimes it's one eye, sometimes it's two eyes. One can be a plugging of the little tube, the nasal lacrimal duct that carries the tears from the eye down to the nasal passages, and this can cause the eye to be swollen. Also, some of the oil glands in the eyelids can be plugged and cause swelling. Get the kind of like a little oil-filled cyst, sebaceous cyst in the eyelid itself. When you open up the baby's eyelids, is it tender? Does the baby act like she's uncomfortable?
No, because we've massaged her forehead and her eyelid, and she doesn't act like it's
doesn't complain or resist. Probably enjoys it. Okay.
No.
All right.
There's no pain involved. We don't.
Okay.
think.
Now let me back up some more. Was the baby born this way, or was the baby fine and then 2 weeks ago this happened, or?
She was born with this condition.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I would get in a dark room, and you may have done this already. Get in a dark room, take a flashlight, and hold the light to the left eye, and the pupil should contract. Open up the eye, the right eye, and see if the pupil contracts also in the dark room when you put the light on it. Okay? And then call me back after that. It might be tomorrow. Okay? And call me after you see an eye doctor. In the meantime, the baby needs the 90 essential nutrients. Can't go wrong. You have to determine whether it's a congenital defect or something is repairable. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Kansas. And Sue, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Sue, you're on.
Thank you. Hello. I have two questions for two friends. A question for two friends.
Okay.
And then myself. Okay. I have a friend who has a missionary friend in Africa and was just diagnosed with malaria. I just found out 2 days ago.
Okay.
What do you do for malaria?
Well, there are many, many drugs that they can get from a hospital in Africa for malaria. I would go with, in this case, it's a parasite, the red blood cells. I would go with the drugs, which are kind of a synthetic quinine, which is, from the tree bark and so forth. But there are very efficient drugs that have no side effects and so forth. I would go for the drugs, get them some good mosquito netting, and some wouldn't hurt for them to take the 90 essential nutrients for your immune system and throw in extra of the de-stress capsules. Why? Because the vitamin B1, the thiamine in the de-stress, actually repels mosquitoes. Also wouldn't hurt to throw on some of our peppermint oil from our ancient legacy, which also helps repel mosquitoes. But I would not sleep in Africa, in any place in Africa, without mosquito netting and be rubbing the ancient legacy peppermint oil all over me, and also I'd take 3 of the de-stress capsules twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight, but I would use the malaria medication. Okay, question number 2.
Okay. I have a friend who just told me today that she has not slept for 2 or 3 weeks at night. She's just restless, and her mind won't quit working, and she is wired up.
Okay, why is she wired up? Is she drinking?
I don't know.
Coffee?
No. She's not a coffee drinker.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. She's a worrier for one thing.
Yeah.
But
okay, what does she weigh?
She weighs probably 110 pounds.
Okay. Well, 110 pounds with insomnia, I would go ahead and give her the Healthy Heart and Brain Pack, one Healthy Heart and Brain Pack, because anything you have going on with the brain, either chemically or physiologically, anatomically, you want to really ramp up on the nutrition for the brain and the heart. So I'd give her one Healthy Heart and Brain Pack per month, give her a half a dose of everything at breakfast and dinner, but I'd also get her Sleep Ease. That's the word sleep, SLEEP-EZE, Sleep Ease. It's a blend of herbs that actually make you somnolent, I guess is the word. It helps you sleep. She should take 3 of those a half hour before bedtime with a glass of water, and she should get in her jammies and get into bed quickly because she'll fall asleep very quickly. Okay, for yourself, real quick.
Half hour before bed. Okay, all right. And myself, I called 4 weeks ago. I have a Baker's cyst behind my left knee, an inflammation, and I want to know if I should do cold packs and rapid, or do I need the CM Plus capsules, or what do I need to do?
Okay, well, Baker's cyst is kind of like an aneurysm in the tendon sheath. Okay, the elastic fibers are broken, and so basically what you want to do is, and what do you weigh, Sue?
I weigh about 125.
Okay, this is the same thing that causes ganglion cysts in the back of your hand and your wrist. Same principle. And do you have spider veins or varicose veins?
Yes, and I'm doing copper, selenium.
Yeah.
I'm doing,
Okay.
I think, 6 a day.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, what do you weigh again?
125.
125, okay. I'd have you take one of the healthy bone and joint pack per month, get more collagen that way. I'd get an extra bottle of glucogel, so you can take 15 a day of the glucogel, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'd also have you take 3 of our selenium twice a day. That'll give you enough copper to help rebuild all that. But I'd also have you get on a gluten-free diet. Don't forget the gluten-free diet so you can maximize your absorption. And then call me every couple of weeks on all 3 questions. Thank you so much. Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Dallas, Texas. And Carl, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Carl. You're on the air.
Hey, Dr. Wallach. How you doing?
Fine, sir. How can we help you?
Yeah, well, I'm calling from my aunt. She's having a chronic heart failure and also a hernia. Her heart was weakened last year, and she had a...
Okay, when you say she's got heart failure, is that congestive heart failure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, congestive heart failure. And how old is your aunt?
56.
56, and what does she weigh?
She weighs probably 250 plus.
Okay. And how tall is she?
She is, believe it or not, she is 6'2".
6'2". I bet she played volleyball or basketball in school.
Yes, she did.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's see if we can help her out. Does she have any other issues, diabetes, arthritis?
All of the above.
All the above?
She had a Eliquis, I think it's called Eliquis blood clot, high blood pressure issues, you name it, she has it.
Okay, high blood pressure, arthritis. Did she have diabetes?
Yes.
Okay, so she's got the whole range. And when you got this many diseases, I would always put them on a gluten-free diet, no wheat, butter, and oats, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, and no sugar because of the diabetes. She's going to have to really undo everything she's doing. And the fact that she's overweight, even at 6 foot tall, 250 is too much for a woman. I want to see her at 175, 180 maybe it'd be max. But 170 to me would be better for a woman, even 6'2". But so she got to be drop dead gluten free, and everybody in the household's got to be gluten free. When you have this many serious diseases, and they're all nutritional deficiency diseases, this means she's not absorbing nutrients. So I would put her on 3. It'd be 3. Now, obviously, if finances are a problem, 2 minimum. Optimally, she would have 3 of the healthy blood sugar packs because I wanted to have 3 of our sweeties at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She has to test her fasting blood sugar in the morning before she medicates herself and adjust her blood sugar medication daily based on her blood sugar levels. And she's been doing that for a long time, so she knows what to do. So that's 3. Ideally, it would be 3 healthy blood sugar packs per month. For the high blood pressure, I would also have her take the Ultimate Daily tablets. I'd have her take 9 of those a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. That's 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily tablets. And then for the congestive heart failure, I'd have her take 3 of the de-stress capsules 3 times a day. That's 9 a day. That's 3 bottles a month. And congestive heart failure is, in 99.9% of the cases, a deficiency of thiamine, vitamin B1. And so I'd have her take anywhere from 9 to 12 of the de-stress capsules a day, so it'll be 3 or 4 bottles a month, whatever is comfortable financially. And then she's going to get benefit for the arthritis by all this going on. But if she wants to deal with the arthritis, she can throw in, again, that the 2 bottles of glucogel is 15 a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. That's going to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae. And then for the weight loss, I'd have her take 2 bottles a month of the ASAP. It'll be a dropper full, not a drop, but a dropper full underneath her tongue 30 minutes before each meal, and a second dropper full under her tongue 15 minutes before each meal, and she will begin to lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. Okay? And then keep a chart. I mean, obviously, she's got a lot of stuff going on here, so she's going to have to be aware of what she's doing. Watch her medication, reduce her medication for her blood pressure and her diabetes as her numbers drop. And then for congestive heart failure, her doctor is going to have to reduce those medications. Have her go more frequently to the doctor. Okay, we'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity and 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Canada and Cher. You're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Cher. You're on the air.
Yes, Dr. Wallach, you were here on Sunday in Calgary.
Yes.
And you didn't have time to answer maybe the last 4 questions, and you said to call.
Okay, well, thank you for calling, Cher.
The fellow that was giving you a ride gave you my sheet. It said, Lee gave it to you, and it said that I've been told again that I'm dying of malnutrition. And it started about 1989.
Mm-hmm.
And a surgeon was just supposed to investigate, open my face, look at my jaw, and close right back up again. Instead, he started chopping when he got inside, and he took out my healthy left meniscus. He chopped off both coronoid processes. He took out 1.5 inches of temporalis muscle, and I can't remember what else he took out.
Okay, well, let me. We only have a moment here, so let me ask you a couple of quick questions. Are you able to swallow liquids and food that you've macerated by chewing? Are you able to swallow food that you chew?
Sometimes.
Okay. And what do you weigh now? What do you weigh now, Cher?
My weight varies greatly from 98 to 110.
Okay. Okay, very good. So I'm just going to say 100 pounds, give or take, okay? Now, basically what I'd like you to do is this. We actually have a protein shake. It's called the Slender Effect Shake. If you make it with water, it's a weight loss program. Obviously, I do not want you to do that. But what I want you to do is get the protein shake, and I want you to put 2 eggs in it, each serving. I want you to have 2 servings a day, 1 at breakfast, 1 at dinner. Each time I want you to put 2 eggs in it, and then I want you to make it with heavy whipping cream instead of water. I want you to make it with heavy whipping cream instead of water, and you blend it up with some ice, and you can either drink it as a cold shake, or you can put it in the freezer and eat it and nibble on it over, a half hour or so as an ice cream. Then, at 100 pounds, I want you to get 1 of the Healthy Heart and Brain Packs, 1 Healthy Heart and Brain Pack, and I want you per month, and I want you to divide that in half and take a half a dose of each of the products in the Healthy Heart and Brain Pack. I think there's 5 products in there. I want you to take a half a dose of each of the 5 products at breakfast and a half a dose of each of the 5 products at dinner time. I would also like you to get 2 bottles of what I call D-Stress, capital D like David, dash Stress, and I want you to take 3 of those capsules at breakfast and dinner, and this is for the physiology of the brain and the heart and the liver. It's going to help you out there. There's a lot of stuff for the brain and the heart and the liver in the Healthy Heart and Brain Pack. And then lastly, I would also have you make sure you're on a drop-dead gluten-free diet. Absolutely no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. I want you to eat baked sweet potatoes with butter and cinnamon. I want you to eat things like rice you can eat. And I like to make my rice, steam rice and then put butter on it, again with cinnamon and salt and pepper. You can have meat, not processed meat, not deli slices, But I do want you to eat, like sliced roast beef. You can have chicken. You can have fish. Nothing fried. They can be poached, roasted, baked, stewed, grilled, but not fried. And so you have to have animal protein with each meal. For snacks, what I want you to do for snacks is to get yourself some gluten-free things like vegetables, hard-boiled eggs. You could even get gluten-free, drop-dead gluten-free apple crisp and things like pie and ice cream. You can eat regular store-bought ice cream, or you can make some more ice cream that you can have at 10 o'clock in the morning and 3 in the afternoon using the Slender FX, the eggs, and the heavy whipping cream. But you're going to have to be eating 4, 5, 6 small meals a day as opposed to trying to eat 3 meals a day. And I do want you, again, to have the Healthy Heart and Brain Pack, the de-stress capsules, okay? And call me every couple of weeks. I want to know your weight and how everything else in your energy and your emotional state is going. Thank you so much, Cher. Okay, well, thank you so much, Shar, up here in Toronto, Canada. Thank you so much, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.